This phrase comes from the Chandogya Upanishad, which means, "You are that." On the surface, it seems simple, but its depth is vast. That refers to Brahman, the ultimate reality, the infinite, formless, eternal essence that pervades everything. You refers to the individual self, or Atman. Advaita Vedanta tells us that the two are not separate, they are one and the same. The idea that we are distinct from the world, from others, and from the universe emerges from the mental distortions. The mind, conditioned by past experiences, fears, attachments, and beliefs, perceives reality as divided, and we create mental boundaries. I am me, and you are you. To understand this, let's examine the nature of Maya, or illusion. The world as we perceive it is shaped by our senses and minds, creating an experience of duality, subject and object, self and other, me and the universe. But this duality is an illusion, a distortion caused by ignorance. Think of it like a clay pot. When we look at a pot, we see it as separate, distinct, but at its essence, it's just clay, shaped, molded, and temporarily given a form. When the pot breaks, the clay remains. In the same way, our individual selves are like forms made of the same essence as Brahman. Our names, bodies, and identities are temporary, like the shape of the pot, but our true essence is eternal. The dissolution of this illusion is not about rejecting the ego or self, but about realizing that the ego is a transient, limited aspect of the larger, eternal reality. It's about recognizing that our true nature, the Atman, is not separate from Brahman, the universal consciousness. This is the realization, and not about intellectually understanding this truth, but experiencing it directly. This realization dissolves the illusion of separateness, and with it, the fear, desire, and suffering that come from identifying as a limited self. This teaching is not about rejecting the world or escaping it. It's about seeing it for what it truly is. Like a wave doesn't need to leave the ocean to discover its nature. It only needs to realize it was never separate. In the same way, when we recognize that Atman and Brahman are one, we find the freedom and peace that were always within us. In the silence of this realization, the boundaries dissolve. There is no longer I and the world, no longer me and God. There is only one indivisible, infinite reality,